We're going to revisit a story that we've covered before, that of Kevin Matthews and Broken Mary. And just to update people on the origins of the story, because it's like 15 years old, well, here it is.
I found this statue of the Virgin Mary lying next to a dumpster. It was too heavy to throw into the dumpster. I don't know who would do such a thing, but this statue of Our Lady caught my eye. I walked over and looked, and she's broken in half at the waist. Her hands are missing. She looked so cold and abandoned, her eyes just looking up at me. And that's when I heard a voice I'll never forget. This stern voice said, "Will you deny me? Will you deny my mother?" I ended up taking the statue. I kept her because she was broken, and so was I. I took her home and I called a priest, and he came and blessed her. And that's when the miracles began. First, I had this urge to recite the rosary. I didn't even have a rosary or know what a rosary really was. But Mary herself, she taught me her rosary. And when you recite and hold her rosary, you are holding the hand of Mary. And when you hold the hand of Mary, you're holding the power of God. And that power can heal everyone who's broken. So many people have touched the statue of Broken Mary. Some are sick, many have addictions. So many are afraid or dying of loneliness. Many have contemplated suicide, and some are serving life in prison. We all are broken. It's humbling to go to Mary and say, "Mary, the mother of Jesus, please, please, Mary, be my mother today." This world is moving so fast. Maybe it's time to stop and close your eyes and finally be with God.
That is the voice of Chicago radio legend Kevin Matthews, the author of Broken Mary, A Journey of Hope, the website ourladyofthebroken.org. And by the way, I think it was about 5 years ago, there was this huge procession with the Broken Mary that Kevin Matthews described. I think that went from St. John Cantius, my parish when I'm in Chicago, to Water Tower. It's always relevant, but there's a new development in the form of a new book, Mary's Roadie, My Travels with Mary, the Mother of Jesus. Kevin Matthews, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Oh, hey, thank you so much. We're finally speaking to one another, so it's good to. Good morning, Chicago. I miss you.
Give us a little bit of what this journey has been from the time that you described the backstory several years back and the procession in Chicago to your travels that you've memorialized in this new book.
Yeah, it's been quite an adventure. Mary's keeping me very busy, and she keeps me out of trouble. But it's such a beautiful journey. It's not a story because it's not ending. And I found this beautiful statue of the Virgin Mary that was just broken half, and since she's been put back together, but she's still broken. Her hands are missing, and basically she reminds us of ourselves because we're all broken, but we're loved by God. And when I was in Chicago with that walk with Father Josh and everyone at St. John Cantius, we had nearly 8,000 people walk from the church to the water tower, and it was beautiful because, that was a miracle itself. And the city then and is, like every American city or just the world, is broken. And it's, people can relate to it, especially those who are sick. I was diagnosed with MS in 2008, and God didn't give me MS. I'm not being punished. It's just, I'm here on earth. It happens, when young kids get cancer or, all the hurt, just the rain that we've been getting in North Carolina and down in Florida and the hurricanes and whatnot. God's not doing that to punish us. Is that we live in a violent yet beautiful world, and I'm very proud of this last book because it's a journey that is so relevant to so many people, and especially I believe that society is moving at a rapid rate away from God. And when you do that, you're putting yourself up for a journey in eternity. I literally believe either you are with God at this time or you're against God.
You know, it's sorry to interrupt, but, you know, it's interesting you say about your MS diagnosis and you're not being punished. It calls to mind this clip that has stuck with me for, I don't know, ever since he passed. Remember the great Kansas City Royals reliever Dan Quisenberry?
Yes.
He was diagnosed with brain cancer shortly after he retired, like in his mid-40s, and passed away from brain cancer. And he was asked about it, and he says, like, do you ever feel like, why me? And his response was, why not me? I wouldn't wish this on anybody. It's just, wow. it's just one of those things about life, and it's difficult to reconcile. But I mean, your attitude sounds very much like his, which is pretty inspiring.
It is, and people all are saying, how are you doing, or I am blessed to have MS. I wouldn't be speaking to you right now if I didn't have MS, if I didn't walk to that dumpster. I have been so blessed because of the multitudes of people that I have met from all over the world. And I always thank God for loving me, and I give any of my suffering to Christ for the conversion of sinners. But when people say, Kevin, how are you? And I say, I'm good. I always think of those who have it even so worse than I do. Look at Steve McMichael.
Yeah.
My friend Steve McMichael, I pray for him. I want him to go to heaven. I love him, and I'm fine. I'm putting together a book called Broken Mary, and it's for children. And we have a beautiful children's hospital here in Grand Rapids called the Boss Children's Hospital. And I love what they do there, and I often drive past and make the sign of the cross. And I want these little children, 5-year-olds, to be able to read at a simple level that they're broken, but they're loved by God, and they're loved by their parents, they're loved by their doctors, and make it relatable for a 5-year-old or a 10-year-old or even like a preteen. So I'm very blessed to be doing this because I have no idea why I was chosen to do this, but it's an honor to be. I have such a devotion to Christ and his mother.
Well, were you practicing Christian before you found the statue?
I was Catholic. I was born Catholic. I have, since I've done all this research for 2 books, my cousin was Father John Kavanaugh, who was the president of Notre Dame.
Oh, really?
And we had nuns on our side. And if you saw the movie Roadie, Father Frank is a cousin. So I didn't know I had this heritage of a Catholic faith in me, but I was. Amy, it was, and Dan, I made sure that my children were baptized and, the sacrament of communion and all the sacraments. But as soon as they got older, I abandoned the church. I had something happen at a church, and I abandoned it. And when I did that, I abandoned God. The Catholic Church is Jesus Christ. We're all broken, but we're loved by God. We're all broken, even the Pope, the cardinals, the bishops, the priests, the nuns, you and I, and everybody listening. We're all broken, but we're loved by God. And I've been so blessed to be able to go around the country and speak. I've been blessed to go inside prisons and speak to lifers, and they take the book and they love it because Yes, they've done some horrible things. When I'm talking to a lifer, he's not there because of parking tickets. But I don't ask him or her why they're there, but you can comfort them, even though they did hideous things. But as I comfort these men and women, they're now holding rosaries. And I had one inmate say to me, "I'm never going to leave. I'm going to die here." And I said, "But you look at you've gone to confession. You're devoted to Christ now. You're holding Mary's rosary." I said, "You get to choose where you go next for eternity." I often say to people, this life that we're living right now is like O'Hare Airport. And our next connection is our final connection. And we choose whether or not to go to heaven or hell. God doesn't send us to hell. We do.
And that connection's always on time.
Yeah. Yes.
So they're making a documentary. Who's making it, and when's it going to be released, and where?
Wow. And again, I met this ODB Films. I was speaking 4 years ago in Chicago, and I met them, and they liked the story, and so we just finished it about a month ago in Chicago, and it's taken 4 years to do. But it is one of the most beautiful stories. The cinematography is just so beautiful. And they're responsible, this company that I'm blessed to work with, they release beautiful documentaries. They're tied to the folks of like Jim Caviezel, who's right now doing the follow-up of The Passion with Mel Gibson, or even the Mark Wahlbergs and what's happening right now with the series The Chosen.
Yeah,
I love that because it's appealing to people that just want to see. They don't want to be yelled at. They don't want to be shamed. This is a beautiful story, and God is working in different kinds of ways now to get people's attention. The election is coming up in 1 week, and I always remind people that it was politicians, priests, and people that crucified Jesus Christ. So it's an important election, and the world is on fire right now, but God is coming. God is coming.
You had this incredible, storied, career in radio, where basically everybody within the Loop signal listened to you. And I wonder how you look back at those times, reflecting on your life and this journey and what the stage of the journey you're on now. How you reflect back on that career, what you think about how that brought you to where you are today, if there is a nexus there, especially the celebrity you enjoyed, this is for another big celebrity like Amy. Maybe there are some lessons to be learned. Yeah.
No, we when I was in Chicago, I arrived to Chicago the day Ferris Bueller's Day Off appeared in theaters.
How apropos.
Yeah. And I had such a great time in Chicago. I love Chicago. The audience, they were my family and still are. And I'm surprised I'm alive. I think Johnny and Steve Dahl and Gary Meyer and Danny Bonaducci and Larry Ward, wow, we made it. And it was just a beautiful time. It is just, Chicago has always been a petri dish for creativity. And I was so blessed to be a part of it. And I still love Chicago. And it's funny, people condemn me all the time that, hey, if I was at it when I was in Chicago, I got and did golf outings. I got kicked out of 10 golf outings in 10 years.
One a year, that's pretty good average.
What did you do?
Well, think of what you have to do to get kicked out of 10 courses in 10 years. And I was 1 year.
Pretty high bar. Yeah.
Very high bar. 1 year I was for Father Smith in his orphanage, and I was looking at what was happening up on a green, and next to me was Father Smith, And he looked at me and he just said, shook his head and said, it's for the children, and then just walked away. And years later, I was with him with the statue of Broken Mary and went to confession with him. He smiled and said, I'm so proud of you.
How long did that confession take?
It just pretty quick.
What did you do?
It was, yeah, and which I love. I love to go to confession. I love the Eucharist now. I love my Catholic faith because, again, it's Christ. It's Christ. It's Christ.
Oh, I still want to know about those golf outings.
Did it have something to do with Loop Girls? I don't know.
I don't know.
No, it was beyond that. It was,
Okay.
Was alcohol involved?
But
oh, yeah, quite a bit. And, for some reason, Seika was with us. And
sure.
It was really,
Mm-hmm.
well, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Okay,
yeah,
well,
sure.
it's over with.
You know what is-
As long as you repaired your divots and raked the traps, that's the only thing I care about.
Beyond that, we actually, this is how so ironic. Talk about how things come full circle. And we were in Chicago finishing the documentary just about 6 weeks ago, and the producer said, "Okay, we're going to go to a golf club because we've got interviews." Bill Wennington was golfing, and some people that they wanted to get on camera, and they go, "We're going to go out to Oak Brook," and I go, "Oh no," because I oh no, not because I've got kicked out of that course twice.
Uh-huh.
I go, "Oh no," and I didn't make a big scene, but I got in and got out, and then we were.
Did you wear some sort of disguise, or was your picture on the wall at that point?
I'm not, Dan. I didn't go into the tea shop or anything. I literally lay low because I got kicked out of that course twice, and we still have the letter saying you are never allowed here again. And then we were taping, we were shooting film down in the Cal Sag over by Willowbrook, and right across from Willowbrook was this bar, and Al Capone owned it, and we used to go have toga parties across the street. With Otis Wilson, and then I'm
as
in
one
this
does,
bar.
yes.
Yeah, and then I'm in this bar having lunch, and the owner looked at me like, I know you.
Oh,
and of course, the Willowbrook since burnt down. It's just been. I love my life. I'm happy, and I just love what I'm doing. I'm so blessed to put a broken statue of Mary in the front seat of my car, buckle her up, and then just let's drive.
That's a long way from Jim Short's. Speaking of which, I mean, not to be a fanboy, but
yeah.
Do you have if you could channel your alter ego for what happened on Sunday? I mean, that's going to be replayed a million times from here to eternity.
He's here.
Oh, he is here.
Oh, can we talk to him, please?
Yeah.
Yep, Jim.
Yeah, shut up. First of all, I want to say to everybody, I'm not doing this stuff. Okay, I'm sports, still doing it. I own a casino on Beaver Island. And to answer your question, if the head coach of the Chicago Bears is listening, you should be fired. And I gotta be careful.
We have a dump button.
Well, when you're taunting the Redskins or the Commanders, whatever they're called, and you're not playing football, you jackass, and then you look and go, oh, wait, I'm playing football, and then you run over and you tip it to a receiver, you are the biggest jackass, and if you worked for Mike Ditka, you wouldn't even gone on the plane. He would have come to the end zone and kicked you in the balls and say, you're done. You're done. I've said it. I have no problem with Caleb Williams. He's a good kid, but he's getting just ass kicked every game. And then I said, get rid of the coaches. The coaches are just stupid. And you know what? Really, when I see the head coach and he gets his hair cut at the barbershop at the practice field, he's more worried about how he looks. You look like a jackass. And now you got to go into Arizona. Good luck. Good luck on that one. Good luck. I love Caleb Williams, but give him a chance. Fire the coaches.
All right.
All right, maybe Caleb Williams would be a player coach, throwback like Lou Boudreau. And Tyreek Stevenson maybe could go to confession.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, right.
He needs to do a lot more than that. You think of that. Yeah, go to confession, but go to a bar on the South Side and let everybody kick your ass.
Hey, I got one more question for you, Jim Shorts, before we let you go. My former broadcast partner, Bruce Wolf, suggests that Jim Shorts was a takeoff of Chet Chit-Chat, that Chet Chit-Chat was the mentor of Jim Shorts.
I'm so sick of Bruce. Kiss my ass. You and Steve Dahl. Oh, Steve's always saying, I did that first. Everybody just shut up, including everybody, especially you, Bruce. Yeah, I know Bruce is voting for Kamala Harris.
No.
There, you just heard that first. Oh, yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. I saw him at a rally.
Did you? They're easy to pick out. There's not many people at those.
Oh, no, I was just saying, I saw him at a rally because he was with 5 people. 7, including the walls. Boy, doesn't he look like he could load up a toilet and just plug it big time?
Jim Shorts, thank you so much for joining us. Kevin Matthews, thank you for joining us as well.
Yeah,
Chicago radio legend.
Anytime you want me to come on, I'd love to come on, okay? I'd like to have a show.
Yeah,
beautiful.
We can have a segment with you.
Yeah,
once
we'd
a
love
week.
the predictions. Yeah, and I don't know where to place my money.
You can ask me anything.
Although I saw you pick the Bears plus the 1.5 this weekend, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about Aaron Rodgers? There's another douchebag.
Well,
okay, guys.
Kevin Matthews, the new book, Mary's Roadie, My Travels with Mary, the Mother of Jesus. Kevin, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Kevin, love you. Loved working with you those few times. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
8:38, now for something completely different. Wall Street Journal editorial page editor Dan Henninger at 8:38.
Can't wait, but now let's head into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott. Mike, did you ever work with Kev?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my brother graduated with him from Grand Valley.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I love him.
We go way back
Such a nice
to Grand
man.
Rapids, but we won't talk about that now. 8:33 on AM 560, The Answer. Former Donald Trump advisor Steve Bannon is set to be released from prison on Tuesday. Bannon will have served his 4-month prison term on 2 counts of contempt of Congress for failing to comply with a subpoena. Vice President Harris has a major speech planned for today in the nation's capital, 1 week ahead of Election Day. She was on the stump late last night.
Full time talking about just kind of diminishing who we are as America and talking down at people.
An estimated 20,000 are expected to gather today. Police in Texas